Could there be lead lurking in the drinking water and the very doors meant to welcome children at Guam Department of Education schools? Education officials raising eyebrows during a Guam Education Board meeting, making mention of required testing for lead in its waters and lead in the paint on campuses upon federal review of its Head Start program.
2 cafeteria are tested for lead. Who are the 2 cafeteria so the parents will know that there's lead in their cafeteria?
Did you find lead paint? We found some lead paint.
In door frames. And under numerous coats of paint.
Guam DOE Superintendent Dr. Kenneth Swanson confirming with KUAM the water at Juan M. Guerrero and Machinao elementary schools will be retested for lead, despite initial tests showing trace amounts were below Environmental Protection Agency limits.
JMG and Machinao is where we found lead low level, below any sort of threat, but we're going to retest. We're not sure of the quality of the water that they had when they did it, so we're going to run them again. And that's the only information I have, is because we want to verify.
As for the lead found in door frames and under numerous coats of paint, mentioned by Head Start Program Director Kathy Schroeder.
We found some doors at 3 different schools, Shinnegayan, Price, and Harry S. Truman, that had, under several layers of non-lead paint, had some lead paint that we found, and we have a project in place to replace all of those doors. In the meantime, we're repainting them so that stays encapsulated. And one of the ways that you deal with lead, if it's in paint, is be sure that it's sealed under a non-lead.
Swanson adding those school communities are not at risk based on EPA inspection, but Guam DOE continues to monitor it. Its risk level so low that Swanson contends did not require informing the school populations.
There's not a need to inform them because the level that we got are not at a risk level. So that's the piece that we work from is it something that is above the levels that EPA specifies, and the answer to that is no.
A decision not to notify that Committee Oversight Chair in Education, Senator Chris Barnett, disagrees with.
If they're trying to get a second test of lead in the water, that's very concerning, especially if the student populations and the stakeholder populations at Juan M. Guerrero, Machinao, were never informed of the potential hazard and risk that happens when you have, lead in the water. So, I think that I want to see the results. I'm waiting to receive this report. For me, you test a second time if the first test results are alarming.
Barnett also taking issue with lead found behind several layers of paint in some schools, adding from his understanding that not all schools have been tested.
Our students have been in classrooms where paint has been scraped away and down again to the concrete. And so for me, that's concerning, because if they're finding lead on the bottom layer beneath, multiple layers of paint, then, I think it's probably more prevalent and present across the district.
Barnett reiterating that under the Safe School and Facilities Act, the GDOE superintendent is required to notify the public of risks and hazards at the schools and inform them of a plan to mitigate those issues. Meantime, Swanson maintaining the water in GDOE schools is safe, and should it not be, he will alert the community and take action. There is no word yet when the waters at JMG and Machinao will be retested, as a contract to replace the doors across Guam DOE remains in final process of procurement. Swanson adding work should begin before the Christmas break.